If we only knew just how beloved we are, how he never stops adoring us as his creation in all his majesty and terrifying beauty, how he watches us so intently, yet we reject his attention when it doesn't look like the way we want it to. If we only knew how much little time we have, yet how highly we value the fickle things of this life, how we disregard the eternal for a distraction of presumed comfort, how we feel entitled to a life of luxury, but then get upset when we feel stagnant and don't grow, how we expect blessings when all we do is merely reduce God to a transactional tool for a life that has nothing to do with him. If we only knew how near he is, how he is closer than the very breath we breathe, how we are of his breath and from his breath. Would this awareness finally lead to actual reverence? Or would we just forget about him all over again, leaving him longing for a mere interaction once more? If we only knew how desperately he wants to be included in every aspect of our lives, how intensely he grieves any rejection or barrier that we place between him, how deep his love runs for us, how he holds every single one of us in his heart, and how he's inscribed within our own. Yet we turn away from our first love, using the gift of free will to tell him that he's not good enough, to conditionally give him love as we put an expectation of the things we desire on him, as if he isn't the gift himself. If we only knew to call him by name, how a mere whisper of his name, Yeshua, immediately causes the darkness to flee. If we only knew how to actually pray, how to not make every prayer about ourselves, what offends us, and what we think we want, but to truly bear the burdens of one another without needing to center ourselves in everything in order for it to have meaning. If we only knew how hurtful it is to him when we idolize the very things he blesses us with, how our selective sensitivity that we reserve for only our own desires keeps us from being sensitive to true relationship with him. If we only knew how tone-deaf and petty we sounded when we tally up the offenses of those around us, as if it makes us superior and more valid. How we conveniently like to forget the very pain that we ourselves have caused others, moving past with an absent mind the very hypocrisy within that caused our own brokenness in the first place. How we are in need of forgiveness constantly, how we fail to see the perversion of our own selfish nature and hide behind performative morality, completely unaware of any blind spots. If we only knew who he actually was, who he actually is and will continue to be, then we wouldn't second guess his faithfulness. We wouldn't question his integrity and assume that he isn't who he says he is. We wouldn't arrogantly try to take control and put our own suggestions at the forefront. We wouldn't parade around in false independence. We would never take our eyes off of him, not for one moment. If we knew, maybe then we would know peace, perfect peace.